Do 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 and do 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 do. I'm a human doing. It's not too late. You see, most of the time you convinced yourself and you live in this program that time is evading, time is slipping away. Where I am today isn't where I should be. Where I am today isn't where I could be. Listen, I get it. I lived most of my life in this place, from this plane, observing my life escaping me versus taking that personal power, funneling it back in, becoming the frequency of the thing that I want and materializing it right here, right now. Thumbs up if you know what I'm talking about. Also, make sure you hit the little belly on the side over here and subscribe to this video, because what happens when you and I work together is far greater in the non-physical than in the physical video of you watching this. You may see a meat suit in front of you of a Drew Canoli personality, but I assure you, my friend, I am a reflection of you, witnessing to you and speaking to that greater aspect of who you really are, showing up on the planet at this time. So there's a lot of moving parts here. We are shifting big time. People are waking up everywhere. I don't think the Great Awakening has happened yet. I think we are on our way to the awakening of the Great Awakening, right? So how do we do that? First of all, we have to understand the concept of time. Number one, what is time? Time in the human sense is a very 3D thing. It's a very linear thing. Time unfolds from this moment. We have calendars, we have minutes, we have seconds, we have all these things to quantify data storage in our brain of what has happened in reality. But there's also non-reality, which is no time. And maybe you've experienced lucid dreams where you live an entire lifetime in one night and you wake up and you're like, whoa, that was crazy. I lived a whole lifetime. Or things slow down when you're in the middle of chaos, right? You watch the glass fall off the counter and all of a sudden time slows down, like you have this Spider-Man ability of seeing things happen slowly. It's not that it's happening slowly, it's that that part of your brain that normally sees things in the reality perspective actually goes into the non-reality perspective. You can induce this with certain types of drugs. Mushrooms, all types of stuff can switch the reality, the mind frame, the computer, the personalized projection machine that you have, and slow things down. So if that's possible, right, and we know that in the 3D world we can slow time down, how do we really slow time down in our own lives and materialize what we want in every situation and every moment? You want to know the answer? So how do we slow time down? How do we stop looking at time as this linear thing? I think the vast majority of my life, instead of looking at time as this quantifiable data set that I'm observing from the Drew ego, from the Drew suit, right, this multidimensional spacesuit that you and I have, I actually like looking at time as the unfoldment of good. Somebody write that in the comments below. Unfoldment of good, time. That's my new definition. So I'm in this state of constantly asking myself, how much good can I handle in the moment? How much joy can I express in the moment? How good can I take it in the moment? What do I like? What do I love about every situation and every event? I'm constantly reviewing my day at the end of the day. I'm going through it in my mind. What's all the goodness that happened? What are all the great conversations that I've had? And I'm pulling that feeling into my body. You see, prayer, when we pray, you know, dear God, this, that, Jesus, Buddha, whoever it is to you, right? Whoever we pray to, it's not the words. The ancient Essenes would say that it's actually the feeling that is the prayer. So how do we get that feeling going often? Well, we focus on the good. Time is the unfoldment of good. That produces a feeling in our body that is a higher vibratory feeling, which pulls those things that we want back to us from outside of us, right? But very much inside. We're becoming a frequency match. So time is the unfoldment of good. It's not too late to start right now for that dream life that you've always wanted. All it takes is a switch, knowing that it could show up. It doesn't have to take a month for things to happen. I'm always building the momentum with the Organifi team of what would life look like now if we were to create the result that we're setting out to create today. And instead of putting it on the marketing calendar, instead of putting it on the organizational calendar, or the culture calendar, the different calendars that exist within the organization, what if this was to happen in a week? How would we feel in a week from now if we were able to accomplish this result together? What would it feel like in your body? Tell me about that. For you, maybe it's what would your life look like having that romantic partner that you've always wanted to attract? What would it look like if you had X amount of money in your bank, feeling so abundant that this abundance is just overflowing, your ability to give back, your ability to impact others next level? What would that feel like? And we have a discussion around what it would feel like, because what we're doing is we're anchoring it in our body, in the timeline now, and we're upgrading who we are in the moment. And we're sending out a different transmission from our heart, the greatest electromagnetic field we have, which is right here. So ascension is coming into our heart. So how do we vibrate at that level together? Well, it's recognizing the unfoldment of good that's going out into 1,000 timelines consistently, but we know we get to choose the timeline more when we're in control of our time. And when we're in control of our time, we're recognizing how good it is, because the projector starts to align with more goodness. And what does that feel like? Oftentimes, I'm not trying to get team members to live in this mundane reality. What I'm trying to get them to realize is that they are invincible, that they are powerful beyond measure, that they are the creators of their own universe, that they are the masters of their own ship, that they are the champions of their own army. And when they live from this place so fully, it's crazy the realities that they start to bring about in their life. How easy it is when we're unhooked from the linear time speak that we have as human beings, that we've been conditioned and indoctrinated ourselves into. We realize that there's nothing to do. So that's the next biggest thing. I don't need to do anything. What's more important for me is to change my focus. What's more important for you right now is to change your focus. You don't get in a car, right, and start pedaling your feet like the Flintstones. That would be silly. You're not moving the car, you're just pressing on the gas and you're pointing the car in the direction. You don't get in the airplane, flapping your wings, hoping that this jet can fly away. That would be silly. All you're doing is you're getting in the plane, and the pilot, or you, if you're a pilot, you change the focus. So we're constantly changing the focus of where our time is pointed. We think time is outside of us, time evades us, but time is in us. We can slow time down, we can control time, we can go into the future timelines, we can observe what's going to happen in future events. All of this is possible, but you have to get over the idea that you're this limited 3D human living in this experience now. You're far greater than that. You're not separate from any living thing on this planet. Your ability to bilocate your consciousness is a very real thing. And it's very real to observe different timelines from the state that you're in now. And I know many of you are probably thinking, this is crazy talk, but when was the last time you thought about somebody and then all of a sudden they called you an hour later? Did you have to travel to them? Did you have to use your legs to walk to the person using the 3D rules of communication? No, you literally used what we would call telepathy to send a signal, thought transference, a vibration or a frequency, if you will, which is infinitely faster than the speed of light. They registered it in their brain, right? And then all of a sudden they heard your voice and they're like, I'm gonna call them. Whether or not they heard you or not, they were sensitive enough in their field to notice that your field was sending an energy particle, be it a thought, to call them back. And we didn't have to take any time to do that. It was instant. Just like the goals in your life can be instant. You can materialize anything. In fact, most of you have accumulated so much vibrational goodness in your, we could call it the vibrational escrow of greatness. You've put so much money into this account, so much energy into this account, that you're billionaires and you're just sitting on this money waiting for something to cash it in on. And because you're waiting to cash in this money in the 3D limited concept, you've forgotten that you are vibrational in nature and you have this whole surplus right here. You just have to know how to send it out. And I'm telling you right now, the way you send it out is, and you continue to accumulate it, is by recognizing the goodness. And the way that you send it out is getting in that feeling place as if it's already done, and then you change your desire, you change the focus of the car or the jet like we talked about, and all of a sudden you see it materialize in your life that much faster. But it takes tuning in every single day. So it's not too late for you, my friend. I think when we try to control time, it's one of the biggest illusions we have, because we're stuck in the doing. We're human doers. I'm trying to control my time. I have this on my calendar, I have this on my calendar, I have this on my calendar, I have 40 things on my calendar. Wow, it has been a day. But how often do we actually plug in to us? How often do we actually take the time to listen to our own heart? How often are we doing the self-love rituals and practices that can actually speed up our own frequency and our vibrations, so that those things that were on the calendar, most of them will get picked up by other people, places, circumstances, and it will shift your whole entire timeline to where half of the stuff you didn't even have to do. But if you're stuck in the eyes of the doer, it's going to be intoxicating to have to do. Do, 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 and do, 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 do. I'm a human doing, 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 doing. Right? That's the song we sing to ourselves all day long. Or instead, the song of the heart is just silence, baby. It's just being. It's just being so in tune with who you are that all the stuff that you wanted to accomplish just happens. You just get to relax, ease into it, let go, right? We're just letting go. We're just becoming the bigger, broader perspective of who we are. Time slows way down. You can see from the outside looking in versus observing the chaos that a lot of people get stuck in, which you may be in right now, which is why you're watching this video. And another thing we do is we close ourselves off from the desire that we have because it's too good, too soon, frequency upgrade, I can't compute how good I feel, self-sabotage. Sound familiar? We are self-sabotaging machines. It's getting too good for me. Oh, I'm gonna throw everything in the fire now. My ego can't take it. Too good. I feel too good. I haven't felt this in a long time. Let me self-sabotage, right? So we have to stop ourselves from self-sabotaging, recognize that it's just the monkey mind. That's why in ancient Hindu text, you'd see the monkey riding the elephant. We have to upgrade the elephant. The elephant in this symbol, this idea is that it's in your body. So the trauma that we have in our body is that stuck trauma that causes the chemicalization of thought, that causes the frequency from the heart, the feeling, as if it's happening now, all the trauma from the past. But if I'm sitting here stuck in this trauma, then I'm always going to self-sabotage it when my goodness meter gets filled up. We gotta blow apart that goodness meter. We gotta heal the trauma inside of us. We gotta let that light flow so much into us. Our central nervous system is the key, baby, to where you're not self-sabotaging anymore. You're rising yourself up to a higher level. You're controlling your own timelines. Time is opening up. Time is slowing down. Time is speeding up. Whatever you want time to be, it's there for you. You are now the master of your own fate, the captain of your own ship, the owner of your own soul, all the things. You get all the thanks when you come from this level. But it is not too late for you, my friend. In fact, we're just getting started. Every day is a new beginning. Every new breath you take in, that spirit that fills your lungs up is a new opportunity to wake up and fulfill your life's desires and your dreams from a place of love. So stop closing yourself off to all the goodness, thinking that it takes X amount of time for you to be learned enough to be the doctor or to be the master or to be this, to be that. Remember already that you've done this thousands of times. That's why some of you are messaging me saying, this just feels like it's a replay. I've been here before. I feel like I'm living this life in the past. This is weird. You ever feel that way? Maybe you have. I don't know. Maybe we had a life together. But more and more remembering is happening. So remember who you are, my friend. Remember that deep, innate desire, that will. You know all this already. I'm not here to teach you anything. So if you feel like it's too late, what we do oftentimes is we put our heart in a box. It's this little steel box around our heart. And the vibrations that would normally be 15 feet and beyond our physical body are just kind of trapped inside of us. And those vibrations are so powerful because those are the connection points of everything that we want. So what we must do is free ourselves, free our heart from all the limiting beliefs that we have around time, all the things we witnessed from our mom and dad that we're living in this finite time. And we get to really recognize that once we remove that steel encasing off of the heart and we go on our ascension path to 17 inches from our mind into our sacred heart, where there is no time, then those vibrations expand into infinite time. There's all the time in the world, and it's happening right here, right now. There couldn't be more love for you from this infinite time-space continuum. Right here, right now. So remember, you have infinite time. Remind yourself, there's just so much abundance of time. I feel like I could do anything that I've ever wanted to. I could be anything I've ever wanted to be. Pour that self-love into you. Stop trying to control the outcome, as we had talked about. Give up that lack mindset and tap into a brand new timeline where you are everything that you could ever imagine yourself to be, and then a little bit more on top, because that's where we're headed. You're headed there. You're already there, living in the future. I already talked to the future version of yourself. You've already high-fived the future version of yourself. Right now, we're all giving ourselves hugs. You can feel that. There's much love for you now. As always, remember, we're in this together, and I'll talk to you soon.